welcome to Cheap Joe's Art Stuff. My name is Julie, and I'm here to impart some knowledge to you via a 2-minute art tip. And today's tip is about a compositional element, and you all are groaning, going, "Oh God, no, not more composition." Yes, this is important. Perk up and listen. All right, this is about negative space and the importance of negative space, the consideration of negative space, how relevant the negative is to the positive. There's a famous quote by Ellsworth Kelly where he says the negative is just as important as the positive. And that is very, very true. And my art teacher, when I was growing up in high school, used to tell me all the time, you need to take as much attention to consider what you're not painting as what you are painting. And I think that that's very, very true. And it's only as I'm older that I fully understand what he was talking about. And that is that if you overly put too much detail into the background, which is not the subject, you can actually have your negative space or your background elements compete with your subject, which confuses the viewer's eye. So sometimes what I like to do is actually like take the subject down to its core, reduce it out, and figure out like what my negative spaces look like. So here I have an image that I took while I was on vacation. Granted, there's a lot going on here. If I were to include all of this, it would be a little noisy. So it's important to kind of like really take some deliberative effort and figure out what am I putting in here and what am I not. So therefore, I went ahead and drew out what does the negative space look like. All right, so the cool part about this composition is that I have a nice variation in my negative spaces. I got little ones, I got big ones, you know, there are all kinds of instances where the subject is breaking the picture plane, and so it's dividing up the negative space in a whole myriad of ways. But if I put too much detail and too much focus into these areas of negative space, it's going to cause me to not pay attention to the orchid, which is the subject of the thing. This also is a really easy way when you're looking at it, actually sometimes a whole lot easier than looking at the actual reference, to look at how am I going to break this up compositionally. Are there parts I don't even need? Are there parts that are a little bit too much? So you can actually like take a piece of paper, or you can take, you know, our gem finders, any of those kinds of things. What if I laid this across the bottom? So I create a whole different set of negative shapes on there, because, you know, that's a bunch of stem. You know, do you really need it? Is there anything happening down there that's too, you know, too important that it could be taken out? You also have like an interesting rhythm that's created with these three things across the bottom. So doing a little negative space exercise like this is really nice to kind of figure out like, what is it I'm going to say? What is it I'm not going to say? Like, what is it that I can just totally leave out? And this is a really great way to do that. So next time you're composing, trying to figure out what you do, take a really sharp look at your negative space. We're sure you will enjoy.